Right. Let's get going. Making sure everything's good here, but hello everybody. We are here today playing some more Death and Taxes, but today we are going back to a fan favorite, a personal, a brainchild of mine near and dear to my heart. We're playing Squawks and Taxes, featuring the good old Squadron Hawk. I've made some changes in the post-Renin 6 meta, but been doing some thinking about what the meta is probably going to look, or what I believe the meta is going to look like, and I think there's actually like a meme chance that like an archetype like this can be reasonable. Namely, because Squadron Hawk is really good against the Guard Terminus is a big draw. But there are other implications as well. But obviously also some downsides to this deck building, especially because we're trying out some really weird stuff. This is a question I actually got a lot when I first built the Squadron Hawk deck, Squawks and Taxes. Why I wasn't playing Mistveil Plains? The answer was very easy. Why I wasn't playing Mistveil Plains is because all the decks that you wanted Mistveil Plains against just had infinite Wastelands, because they were all Renin 6 decks. The decks that you want to like drown in infinite Squadron Hawks would be like the Grixis decks, and they just got to play Renin 6 back when it was legal because Renin 6 made your mana amazing and also just Wasteland locked people. So having your value engine be tied to a land was like really not good, but I never really gave it its fair chance. So I decided to try it out here. Made a couple of interesting mana-based choices in order to kind of support it. I don't like just playing a bunch of fetch lands, so I wanted to try to see how consistent I was able to get it in the matchups that matter with just Flagstones of Trocaire. Flagstones notably does not say basic planes. You get any planes card when you Legend Rule it, or it leaves the battlefield in some other way. So you can fetch your Mistveil Planes if you go Flagstones into your other Flagstones. You can switch out your Mistveil Planes that way. Also, we are playing like 2 fetch lands, because I don't think just 4 Flagstones is consistent enough. But, I don't know, I could be wrong. Maybe the answer is more fetch lands, maybe the answer is less fetch lands. Maybe the answer is Mistveil Plains sucks and I just shouldn't play it, but I wanted to give it its fair shot. It's a brave new world in the new meta. No one really knows what's up, right? Other than that, it's like a pretty ordinary list. I'm cutting down on Force of Virtues, because protection for your one-toughness creatures matters a lot less. One of the big draws to playing a playset of Force of Virtues in the previous build was specifically the play pattern of like you play your Squadron Hawk on turn 2 and then they try to Ren ping it, and then you basically counter their Renin 6 with your Force of Virtue, because you prevent the ping from killing your thing, and then you have a 2-power guy to kill their 2-power Renin 6. That being said, Force of Virtue still synergizes a lot with the plan, synergizes a lot with like Brimaz, Howled Spearkeeper, the Squadron Hawks, stuff like that. So kind of wanted to fit more of these in the deck, whether it was the main or the sideboard, but there isn't a lot of space, and I also don't know what I'm supposed to be attacking with this deck, what matchups like are good enough that I may not need as many sideboard cards for, and I can maybe make space for Force of Virtue, because Plague Engineer is out there. It is probably just in every fair black deck, and that's a card that can get pretty obnoxious, so Force of Virtue could potentially combat that, especially because a lot of the black decks can't actually get Force of Virtue off the battlefield. In the sideboard, Deafening Silence was something that I was very interested in, because the big thing that you lost with Squawks and Taxes was your combo matchups. Your combo matchups got a lot worse. You weren't playing like random Revokers. I wasn't even on a Recruiter package in some of the later Squadron Hawk builds, so you just like had a rougher time versus the combo decks. So I think Deafening Silence helps there. My original list had 3, but I don't know what the combo decks that you want to fight are. So I'm a little bit more concerned about the graveyard decks than the decks that Deafening Silence beats, like Storm, or like being decent against Sneak and Show. We do have like 2 Prelates and stuff for that too. Other than that, the only big sideboard thing from normal Death and Taxes is that we can't really play Rest in Peace because we have 4 Flagstones in our deck, and Flagstones plus Rest in Peace is not a combo, and with 4 of them in your deck it comes up a lot more often than if you had like 2 or something, or just 1 and it comes up basically never. So I don't think you can really afford to play Rest in Peace in this deck, so we're trying to supplement Graveyard package with Surgical, Tormod's Crypt, and Containment Priests. But like I said, this is a very, very beta version. Just like the Death and Taxes deck I played on Monday. It's just like, it's no man's land, right? No one really knows what they're doing. So we're kind of throwing everything at the wall and seeing what sticks. Yeah, let's get in some games. I kind of wanted to fit in a second recruiter somewhere. I had one in one of my iterations with the sideboard, but realized that I forgot to put in Council's Judgments and stuff. But that's the age-old problem of Dozen Taxes, right? Is that you're like an 80-card deck, or you're a deck that wants to be playing 80 cards, but you can't play more than 75. All right, let's. Oh God, Moto reinstalled and fucked up all my windows, so I got to resize them all now. All right, let's. Why the Flagstones? Flagstones finds Misspell Plains, which we're trying out in this deck. I think Flagstones is more free to run than fetch lands. In order to like try to find your random one of value land thing. Ugh, I hate double hawk hands, but this hand's pretty solid other than that. We have our Flooded Strand. We can bluff that we're playing a blue deck on turn 1. The big thing is, like, you do have these ways to, like, find Misspell Plains, like the Flooded Strands and like the Flagstones, so it's like you don't really know all the time when you're supposed to go get them versus just going to get a basic land. Like, with this hand, technically, we don't have a 1-drop, so we could just, like, turn 1, fetch the Misspell Plains, turn 2, play Flagstones, cast a thing or whatever, but depends on what we're playing against. If we're playing against, like, Wastelands and stuff, maybe we just want basic Plains. But I think this is still keep even with Double Hawk. We have a lot of good tools here. Ooh, Ancient Tomb. Yeah, Chalice me. Chalice me. Yeah. Deal. I mean, we're going to play a Flooded Strand and say go, too. Make it really look like we're getting beat up by this Chalice of Void. Aw, dang. I guess I'll just play my Flooded Strand. You got me good, opponent. Can't cast my Ponder. So, depending on which Ancient Tomb deck this is, we can just fetch the Misspell Plains because it's free. Unless it's Eldrazi. It's like the only Wasteland deck. It looks like it is Eldrazi. It could be Bomberman, which is what it looks like it is. Yep, this is definitely Bomberman. This could go south real fast. I think I'm supposed to play Thalia next turn. It blocks monks reasonably well and prevents the possibility of like Karn or like Salvager's combo. So we are just going to grab Misspell Plains here because it's just free. And we have Squadronox in our hand, so there's a non-zero chance that it matters. Also, we don't want to draw our tapped land. Man, if they just have like Walking Ballista, we're so boned. Yeah, I'll play our Thalia here. Opponent doesn't want to crack their Mishra's Bauble, which is a little bit weird. Don't really know why you wouldn't want to cycle this Bauble here. Should definitely put both of those on humans when you're playing against Death and Taxes, but... they do have Ballista, that's really bad for me. Probably pretty fucking dead here. Stoneforge. Stoneforge isn't bad. I think I'm playing Stoneforge over Tomic. Just getting Batterskull to try to hold down this fort. They could just pump up the Ballista and kill my Stoneforge, which sucks. Maybe that's a reason to play Tomic. Try to rip a land to Stoneforge. They could have, like, Karn. They have 1 card in hand. Technically, they should have 2. Didn't crack this last turn. Yeah, if we play the Stoneforge, my opponent's definitely just going to like pump Ballista, clear my Stoneforge, punch me. So maybe that plan's not good. Maybe we should need like Tomic and rip a land off the top to try to GT, clear the Mentors. We should have like Karn. Our Tomic doesn't do it. Our Tomic at least can block like something. I guess not really, because if they Karn for like a 0-drop, attack me for 1 million, we probably die. I think Tomic's probably the better play. Yeah, there we finally cracked this bauble. Sure. Please, nothing gigantic. It's just Karn. Oh, they're just pumping Ballista. Pump Ballista again with the LED. It's bad for me, because then they could definitely just trade off the Ballista with the Tomic if I just play on my GT here. Yeah, this means that we can't even block a Monk, or else they just use one counter off the Ballista to kill it. So we just don't block. We can at least use the Wisp next turn to... Yeah, if we don't hit the land, we can just use the Wisp to trade the Ballista at least. Go to 7. If they miss, we can at least hold down the fort with this Tomic and then hopefully rip the land after that. But this requires a lot to go good for me. Obviously, that doesn't always work out. We're at 7 here. We're basically dead to any non-creature spell. And most creature spells, considering the creature spells in their deck are all very bad for us. Like Salvager is just game. Ballista's probably just game. Yeah. Any non-creature spell is very bad because we have to jump block the Mentor and go to 1. Yeah, we're just dead. Nothing we can do about that one. If they'd missed for that one turn, we might have had a chance. Drawing the 4th land, play equip the GT, clear the Mentor. It's a possibility. Alright. Sideboard time. I don't think I want Jailer. I don't think I want Cataclysm either. So after my extensive foray into Bomberman, I'm a little bit better at playing this matchup now, at least. So I know a lot more about the cards that actually matter and the cards that don't matter from our side. I think Mother of Runes sucks a lot in this matchup. It's like, it protects against exactly the Sword Supply shows out of their board, that they have 3. It's also a lot of your equipment that you want to shave down because of Karn. Usually it's like shave the Sword of Fire and Ice, leave Batterskull GT, and shave like a Stoneforge Mystic. You left Bomberman Trader. I'm still going to be playing Bomberman too. But I know a lot of people are asking me about Death and Taxes stuff, so I've been trying to jam some more of it. Kind of want to cut my Squadron Hawks, but I think we have worse cards in our deck. No Surgical. Surgical sucks against Bomberman. Boarding it in is a trap. Especially when you're not a blue deck, so you can't like force a will a relevant card and Surgical it. The only way Surgical stops the Bomberman combo is if they go off with exactly enough mana to do it, and not any extra, or not like 2 extra, so you can Surgical their LED. I don't even know if I would want to Rest in Peace in this matchup, honestly. Even though that like Stone Cold stops the combo. You have a lot of ways of beating actual Auriok Salvagers. With like Thalias, Sanctum Prelates. Normal lists also have like Phyrexian Revoker and stuff. Also, we just have like removal spells. I don't I think the Salvagers part of the combo is the least scary in this matchup. Honestly, it's I think Karn and Mentor and just like Ballistas are a lot more threatening. Also, you can't like surgical their walking Ballistas because they can Karn Wish for them. None of it's good. Maybe we'll just cut the Hawks. Can I? Excuse me, Moto. This looks okay. I think Hawk might be worse than Mother of Runes. Mother of Runes can help facilitate some like blocks against Mentor stuff, as well as predicting from Swords of Plowshares, which isn't nothing. This looks okay. I don't love this matchup though. This hand does not fight them very well if they're just going to combo kill me or mentor me or really do anything. So we have what, Stoneforge, we have a Wasteland. Mana Dial I think is plan A in this matchup by far, honestly. After playing Barman for a long time, you really want to mana deny them. So they're like a 20 land deck with some mana artifacts. This hand feels a little bit weak. But like Recruiter into like Prelate could be something on the play. They have some really explosive hands though, and we don't have a Plow or something to try to stopgap them. Lila Goif, thanks for the follow, appreciate it. Spirit Keeper sucks, but Spirit Keeper can be pitched to Force. I think I like this hand enough to keep. This is the problem is with playing against Barman, especially as a deck like Death and Taxes. They have Barman has a lot of ways to attack you, and you can never, or you usually can't like have a hand that like beats everything. So I think sometimes you just need to accept your shortcomings. Like, oh, my hand's not going to be able to beat the actual just Salvager's kill. Well, now it might. But you don't want to like mulligan into a hand just for consistency against certain parts of their deck when you could just get like rolled over by other parts. I think just having like a reasonable, especially on the play, I think just having kind of like a reasonable hand that has a game plan is an okay place to start. Could just die at literally any point here. Yeah. Yeah. Probably a little bit too slow here. But we have a batter hold up. Oh, wow. They have nothing. Interesting. Wonder if this means I want to prelate on 4. They didn't play any zeros. So prelate on 4 seems really tempting. Beats like a Karn or a Mystic Forge. Prelate on 4 seems pretty reasonable here. My concern is that we are always going to be dead to like Salvagers without prelate on 0, but we also don't really have a plan for if they just... We play prelate on 0 and they just Karn me, right? They can just like work towards... I guess with they're losing their city, so it'd be harder for them to work towards Lattice. We also couldn't get through this Mentor very well. Four does turn off my Force of Virtue for whatever that's worth. Wonder if I actually should have flashed it in on their end step. How much do I care about it? Versus like a Hallowed Spirit Keeper in my hand right now. Might just be better to not cast it because we want creatures. Especially to try to just push through this Mentor. Because we can't get it off the board. Brimaz would have been good with this Force of Virtue, that's for sure. We can't double spell here. I guess we could. We play Mom plus Batterskull. That might be my best line, honestly. I don't think I'm supposed to Wasteland the city. I could have Wastelanded and put in Batterskull instead of playing Mom. But I think I like waiting for them to have to break their city and then wastelanding land after that. It's starting to get scary. Really wish I had a GTA instead of this batter skull right here. Now maybe we're supposed to... No. Wastelanding them lets them start playing lands. I don't think they're going to play another land unless they're trying to Bomberman kill, like Salvagers kill me. I think we might Recruiter... Yeah, Recruiter for our other Prelate to put on 0 is probably the play here. Then we're pretty safe. I'm going to attack with the Prelate here. If they want to block, we just use the Mom. And it gets Mentors off the board otherwise. Right now we want to start sealing off all the ways we could lose this game. Wonder if that meant actually you burning our Caracas so we could... I don't know, if we burn the Caracas and Wasteland, we wouldn't have access to 3 mana reliably. Sanctum Prelate. We'll pass the turn. Yeah, they need to basically just Bomberman me right now. They should be dead. Mom plus double Prelate. Probably locks this game up. Yeah, just discarding planes of the hand size. That's why we don't wasteland the City of Traders. Because I imagine they want to be able to cast their spells on time. So they're waiting for a chance to be able to cast like a 4-mana spell if they like get the Prelate off the board or something. Now I'm probably going to wasteland though, because now we also have Port, and we're just going to put this Prelate on 0 and probably lock up this game. Now we won't be attacking with the Prelate, because now we just want the Mother of Runes up forever. This game should be pretty over, I think. I think this deck's pretty hard pressed to beat a Mom and 2 Sanctum Prelates. We have guaranteed lethal if we cast Flicker Rest on one of these, attack with everything. Yeah, so we can just pass and Port. Mentors never looked so beatable. Yeah, it helps when your opponent doesn't cast any spells after they mentor. My opponent has literally only cast 2 monster mentors this game. Like, that's been their whole thing. Now we'll untap, flicker out a mentor, attack with basically everything, except for the Mom. Goodbye, Monastery Mentor. Could have like a Containment Priest here. Do we have lethal through that? Block, yeah. Alright. Cool. They did. I think it was probably correct to cast Force of Virtue if I, like, knowing that I'm going to put that problem for that turn. I think the game definitely would have gone a lot faster. And you want to be able to lock up those games as fast as possible. Prelate just being in play also lines up better against a Monastery Mentor or against tokens and stuff. We were just running it back here. Probably. I don't love Jailer against Mentor. Jailer can be okay in like some instances, because you do want removal because all of their like creatures are very scary. So just the ability to be able to kill them at any given point is pretty important. Like you saw there, the Mentor could, like if they had Mentor and like had made 3 monks that turn or something, that game could have been way different. Like, it's possible that Jailer's better than Hallowed Spearkeeper. Hallowed Spearkeeper doesn't do a whole lot. They're not really killing your creatures a lot. They have Walking Ballista, but I don't know. I think Jailer's probably better in most instances. Hey, we got to fetch our Mistfell Plains and then die in game 1 here. I think it is worth testing. A lot of people were questioning why it wasn't in my original Squawks lists, but all the grindy decks were playing Red Insects and like free rolling Wastelands in that format. But now they don't get to free roll Wasteland, so I think the ability to have this like grindy land piece is like not irrelevant. Definitely worth considering. Yeah, I think we're just running it back here. We want very heavy mana denial, especially we're on the draw here. This is probably good enough. Obviously not heavy mana denial, but Wasteland and early interaction spells, Thalia, seems reasonable. We can plow their turn 2 Mentor, Salvagers, or whatnot. I'll leave a Flooded Strand. If they don't play a creature next turn, then we can just get the tap land out of our deck. If they do, we can always just fetch a Plains. What? 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 Aight. Oh, Thalia. Hold down the fort, please. I'm gonna cast my GTA. I don't have any other spells to cast. Attack you. I mean, if we connect with the GTA next turn, we can get our Thalia out of Walking Ballista range, which is pretty relevant. Cast CJ over the Plains. That's just smart thinking. I have no idea what my opponent kept there. Is it like the entire combo if they drew like another land? But they would have definitely like played out Petals and stuff because my deck has Thalia in it. All right, now we're gonna be playing out these Wastelands. If we draw like a Rashadan Port or another Wasteland, we want to have them in play. I think it's not like my opponent's really gonna have the ability to play around this Wasteland. Unfortunately, our hand is an extremely slow kill. Fortunately, my opponent is incredibly mana starved, and we have a Wasteland. I think I'm going to be aggressively pumping, especially against the Karn deck. I'm just going to cast this Aether Vial. We can't cast any of our other spells. The classic turn 5 Vial. Oh, right, yeah, we gotta pay 2 for it. How are they gonna beat this Aether Vial? By moving to discard again. We're supposed to fetch with this, right? Ooh, they got a land. My assumption is Swords to Plowshares on my Thalia here. I think we're gonna Wasteland this in my upkeep because it could be like a disenchant on my Jite if for some reason they don't fire it off right now. So if it's a disenchant, we can at least pump our Thalia and hit them. I think upkeep is the best time to Wasteland this City of Traders. If it's just Swords to Plowshares, we just want to Wasteland this. Although, hang on. No, it actually might be better to Wasteland it post or after damage. Because it forces them to plow it, but they want to plow an end step, so I can't play another one. So I think this lets me damage through. So yeah, I think we're going to plow it in my damage. Or not plow it. We're gonna wasteland the city in my damage step. Let's fetch. Gonna like plow in response? No? Alright, cool. Hey, Stoneforge Mystic. Coco Lopez, thanks for the 3-month resub. We are, in fact, playing some good old taxes. So yeah, we're going to attack here. I'm going to waste on upkeep. I decided wasting damage was better, because I think they have Source of Plowshares. Also means maybe I'm only supposed to pump once. Yeah. I wonder if I was actually supposed to pump 0 times. Wastelanding in like damage means that they're like less likely to fire off that plow, because I think they want to sit on their Source Plowshares until my end step, ideally, to make sure that there isn't a Thalia on board later. But now, sure. Now we're just gonna cast Thalia plus Stoneforge and wasteland them. They have like land ballista on my thing. Eh. It's not the end of the world. I think I want to be able to get damage in. Especially have a non-summoning sick thing that can pick up a GT, potentially. I had to imagine that there were Source Plowshares in my opponent's hand. Deal. How does it feel having your real mom come home? It is great. I'm a big fan. Alright, now we just get to equip this here. Attack for 4, set up lethal. Multiple ways here. We have lethal through a Swords to Plowshares if we move the GT to the Stoneforge. I think we're supposed to take this vial up to 3. Dead. If we don't move the GT, they could have another plow on the Thalia, and then we don't have lethal. We only hit them for 5. By moving this, even if they plow the Germ or the Thalia, they still die. Or the Stoneforge, they still die. Because we have 6 if they plow Stoneforge. We have 7 if they plow the Batter Skull. Guess I don't need to pump until after first strike damage, technically, but don't think they could have a card here that matters. Yeah, they're dead. Cool. Alright. Well, that game 3, I don't know what my opponent's hand was, but it had to have been really powerful for them to keep that. Yeah, pitch 3 Simian Spirit Guides and cast Settle the Wreckage, sure. They can get me with that. Because you can't cast spells like that off of the belly, that's for sure. The Entwined Healing Salve from Dominaria, yeah, sure. Cards that are realistically in Bomberman, they didn't have any that could save them there. They could have also cast a multitude of other bad spells to save them there. Sure, there's a lot you could do for 2 white mana that lets you not die that turn. seems a little bit awkward, but I'll keep it. Turn 2 Thalia into play. Hard deal to pass up. Random 6 band is really open to the format. Yeah, Random 6 was very stifling to a lot of strategies, as it turns out. They unbanned Thalia and Tundra. And probably a multitude of other things. Ancient Tomb. Bayou. Oh. That's bad all of a sudden. I was excited for depth for a second there, but now this is very bad. At least we have this Caracas and the Sword Splashes, which don't suck. Yeah, unbanned Cloud Post. Yeah. Good thing we have this Caracas at least. But now we're playing Thalia over Tomek. I was a little bit disappointed that they aren't depths here, but I think Thalia is better to stifle some of their like busted things. We eventually want to get like Stoneforge for Batterskull online, but I think that can wait a little bit. And I don't think we really need to plow this supplier. I think there are a lot better plow targets, like Vengevines, if they're on that build. Or even like Bloodghasts. The thought also makes it harder for them to get their die trigger off their supplier. Well, I guess not, but there's some ways that it does get harder for them. They have a bridge now. They have 2 Bloodghasts. This is really bad. Oh, Jesus. That's so many zombies. Wow, we seem pretty fucked. They just get like 4 zombies here and a giant carrion feeder. Yeah, they're on the bug version. We can't double spell here. I think we just need to try to like all in for this Batterskull. We can plow the carrion feeder later. Probably. If we don't just fucking die. The carrion feeder gets really big really fast. I think Batterskull's the only realistic way we have of like not getting smushed. We'll come back when we're dead. We'll say this game would be going a smidge better if we had untapped Mother of Runes right now. That's for sure. If we had a non-summoning sick mom, I would feel slightly better about my current position. Certainly. Yep. Play another land. It's another fetch land. We just get like absolutely whomped. Cast like a therapy here. I don't care if it's probably also bad for me. Discard a 3rd Bloodghast and a fetch land. Yep. Good old Wampin. I think I have to chump block this carrion feeder. I think I might also just be dead regardless of my decision. They get so many zombies. What's up, Hondo? Thanks for the 12-month resubs. Whole year of shitposting in my sub message. Can't believe it's been that long. Yeah, indeed. Appreciate the support. Yeah, I probably need to jump block this carrion feeder. We can't block with Stoneforge, just need the Batterskull. I think we're just dead. I haven't done the math, but we're block go to 16. They have infinite. We take 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20. Gain 4. That's Xaxes. I need 2 hands to do the math, else we are dead. Yeah, alright. This is definitely a matchup that gets punished by our lack of hard graveyard hate in the form of Rest in Peace, that's for sure. Hogak specifically was one of the decks that I was trying to fade the most when I was building the sideboard. I think the sideboard is like more reasonable against most of the other graveyard strategies. I think Hogak is definitely the diciest one with this graveyard strat. These cards all suck. That's good. These cards all suck, I think. Good news is that that probably brought in useless things to get rid of Rest in Peace, and we don't have Rest in Peace in our deck. Bad news is that we don't have Rest in Peace in our deck. Hitting like mono terrible Squadron Hawk matchups, it seems like. I think Sanctum Prelate is also really bad. It turns off what? It can turn off what's it called? The altar of dementia, or like the Cabal therapies and like careful studies and stuff, but I don't know. It doesn't seem super worth it. And kill this Tomek. Call this a day. I wonder if there's a world that I'm actually supposed to be like voting out Misspell Planes in matchups where it like doesn't matter at all. Could pretty reasonably be a 23 land deck. Keeping like the thing that can block things with 2 power, of which this deck has a lot of. See this Misspell Planes like really isn't a land. Most of these other cards also suck, but not everything can really be a winner. I don't think Deafening Silence is good at all. They don't really. This deck doesn't actually really cast spells, unlike some of the other graveyard-based decks. Problem with putting Prelate on 1 is that that's just like 3 turns too slow, and it turns off all my Source to Plowshares and Surgical Extraction. Like, I feel like they're going to have cast most of their Careful Studies and Cabal Therapies by the time that I can actually put a Sanctum Prelate on the board. I don't think it's a very good strat. Yeah, I don't think Council's Judgment's good enough. It's very clunky. Sometimes you need to exile like their one big thing though, whether that be a Hogak or like an altar or something, but I don't think we can just keep like mopey curve out hands against Hogak. I think we're just like very dead if we do that. Even though none of our graveyard hate is like super big haymakers, I think we need to mull at least slightly aggressively towards it. Oh wow, this hand sucks butts. Jesus. It's real bad. So put the Battle Scroll back and it's like a hand of legacy legal magic cards. Opponent kept 7. We're probably very much dead. Jesus, sorry. Yeah, these hands are not getting better. Hands are, in fact, getting worse. Hellspear Keeper sucks unless you're playing, like, stuff like Force of Virtue, I think. Hellspear Keeper is really bad against the decks that it should be good against. Because of... Or, no, I shouldn't say really bad. It's definitely still a reasonable card. But I think it's a lot worse because Plague Engineer exists. It's not nearly the haymaker it used to be. Man, this hand also sucks. How are we ever winning with a 4-card hand? Guess let's find out. Jesus! Yeah, none of these hands are any good. Do we just, like, have hit stone, like, terrible hands? Not even, like, reasonable keeps after the 7. I think the 6 was, like, a hand of magic cards. This is just, like, not even a hand of magic cards. Ding, ding, ding. I just put you on the bottom. At least our bad cards on the bottom. Yeah, that's what you thought. If we draw our 4th, 8th of Vial, I'm going to tilt. Super Mario. Yeah, we're super dead. I'm going to hit Blood Gas and Bridge here. Jesus. We're so fucking dead. Yeah, therapy me, come on. Do it. Do it, punk. Yeah, they didn't keep 1-land crab. Unlucky. So if we rip, like, exactly Containment Priest, there's a world where we don't lose horribly? No. Yeah, no, we're gonna lose horribly. What are they gonna name here? There's no way I don't cast Rest in Peace on turn 2. Or Containment Priest, rather than, like, wastelanding them. Just name Stoneforge. Oh, that's a reasonable name. Attack with the Crab Coward. Nice. I mean, we're horribly, horribly, horribly dead, but at least we get to get them. Not grabbing GJ here, so just pass the turn. Jesus. Two Vengevines deal. Just Gravecrawler, or Carrion Feeder Gravecrawler. So far, it's like one of those umbrellas you get in a drink versus the... Yeah, we're so dead here. We're unbelievably dead. Was not really keen on winning this game, that's for sure. Now they cast their Gravecrawler again. Give back the two Vengevines. Hit me for like 9,000. Alright, yeah, we're good. We're good here. I'm good playing other games of Magic, certainly. Yeah. Like I said, Hogak definitely one of the matchups I was most worried about and hoping to dodge with this iteration. But also, like, our mulligans were just actual dog shit. I don't think that 7 is keepable at all. We did not even see a Gak, no. They just, like, went pretty nuts with sack outlets and recurable creatures. They just, like, played, like, 20 Bloodghast over 2 games. What is a keep? Stoneforge is obviously more awkward without white mana. We're gonna draw our Mistveil Plains. I'm gonna weep. Yeah, it sounds pretty serviceable, especially on the play, especially with the second Vial. It means that going Rashad and Port Aether Vial and then getting Force Wold is not like the end of the world. Opponent's going to 5 here. We'll see how that goes for us. We're running fetch lands. We have Mistveil Plains in our deck. Wasn't sure how many is the correct number of like ways to find Mistveil Plains if you are running it. So I just like tossing 2 fetch lands in addition to the Flagstones. You see... Are you serious? Just playing against the same deck twice. Oh, well, I hope we dodge Hogak. Immediately queuing this deck twice. Nice. How wonderful. Alright. So, let's see what we draw here. Alright, so we can Wasteland and play our other Vial here, because we have another land to start porting them. Have you considered not queuing into Gag twice? I mean, I tried. I did think about it. My only plan is to manage neither of them. They did mold a 5, but they also cast a Careful Study, so... They're just going to Cabal Therapy name Stoneforge Mystic and just ruin my whole day. Or they're going to pass turn without playing a land and make my day so much better. Dang, never lucky. Well... At least only one of those. At least we didn't get therapied. We start porting their land now, too. We just port their land. Don't think there's a reason to wasteland over porting. Don't really have, like, instants in their deck. No, I also don't think there's a reason to not hit them with this Mom. Go get them! We are on full Idiot Squad beatdown. Oh yeah, protection. Definitely not helpful against Trample, that's for sure. Mother of Rune's not super good against Hogak. Yeah, now we're talking. So now we can actually go get Jite and Wasteland them and cast the Jite. I guess I should have actually got Batter's Skull because if we draw a White Source. And the other Stoneforge... it doesn't matter. Because we're taking this Vial to 2. If we draw the White Source, we can just Vial on the other Stoneforge and make the Batter's Skull. Yeah. Untap. Take these Vials up to 2 and 3. Yeah, we drew the White Source. Oh, no, because we can't do that. We can't play the White Source if we want to Wasteland them, so... Yeah, this turn we just Wasteland them, cast Jite, I think, and just Vial on this other Stoneforge. Yeah, I didn't think that line through all the way. Kapow. Attack. I should have played Wasteland last turn, probably, yeah. Sequence your lands is pretty important. Hey, we did it. Look at that. We won. Game. We took a game off Hogak. Game 1 especially is very good. But did mull to 5, notably. Yes, we got the flawless victory. Opponent had no permanence and conceded. Didn't board this last time. Wasteland, yeah, Wasteland pretty good Magic card. Sometimes your opponent mulls to 5 and you Wasteland them twice and they die. All you do is sit you're like 5-1. Actually, like I'm 4-9 as it turns out. All those photos of me looking like I'm tall are actually heavily doctored. What did I cut last time? I cut the Mistvale Plains, the Sanctum Prelate, and the Squadron Hawks. Didn't I? No, I put the Tomek back in because it like blocks their 2 power creatures, and it's better than the 24th land, I believe, when it's a tap land. Also, it's a lot worse when you're voting out Squadron Hawk. Yeah, all the other cards suck a lot. Good news about Container Priests, it's gotten a lot better against the Hogak decks. The original, like, the Jund lists that, like, weren't even playing Vengevine, like, all your Container Priest hit was recurring Bloodghasts. Now it at least also hits Vengevines and Bloodghasts, so Container Priest does a decent amount of work, especially if you can handle the Hogaks. Ugh, I hate this hand a lot. It has a Path to Exile as well as Thalia. Path is a lot worse than Plow, though. Usually these decks have like a basic swamp, I believe. I have to imagine that's the case. The ability to kill like a turn 1 crab or like a like an early Hogak, something like that, is pretty reasonable, but I think the rest of this hand sucks a lot of shit. I might just ship this hand away. What our opponent do? Our opponent mulled to 6. Maybe like Wasteland, Thalia. Although Wasteland, Path to Exile, not exactly a combo. We're on the draw. Really just want Graveyard Hate. But like Container Priest might not be fast enough. They're on 6. I think we're going to 6 as well. Alright, yeah, this is a much better hand. I'm gonna have to play the Tormod's Crypt dance against my opponent, which is pretty hard when Hogak's in the equation. Our opponent kept, we will also keep, and put this Wisp on the bottom. Tomek's just better in play, Stoneforge is definitely good. Want our lands, Crocus is nice. And the Crocus makes the Tormod's Crypt game a lot easier, at least, because we don't really care if one resolves. Just pretend he's Cyrus. Good call. Just never crack it. I mean, that's my plan because we have this Caracas. It's like, just leave it in play for a long time. Is it Crab? Crab O'Clock? No, it's Citrus Splatter, sure. Please, nothing scary. It's not scary. It's just a Grave Crawler. Don't think we want to just play out the Caracas. I think I'd be inclined to let them, like, try to turbo out an early Hogak or something to get me. Tormod's Crypt dance is real tough, though. Especially with, like, fetch lands versus Bloodghasts and stuff. Let's see how this pans out. Definitely hold off for a little bit here. Ugh. I wonder if anyone like sees the Flooded Strand game 1 against attacks his deck like this, and then like tries to play around Magus of the Moon afterwards. Be an interesting thing to think about. Like game 1, we never played a Coded Source. We only had all our white creatures. There's a world that we're splashing red here. Hoping this Tormod's Crypt threw some wrenches in my opponent's plans. I think I'm supposed to fetch. Don't think we really want to draw more lands. Play around Avalanche Riders. Not quite the red card I had in mind, but you know. The little edges. They cast a Gravecaller from the graveyard, makes sense. Especially if their follow play is like put more stuff in the graveyard, they want to at least get their graveyard value while they can. If their follow play is like Carrion Feeder, sack their supplier or something. It's just nothing interesting. Wondering if now is the meta for Goblin Settler. Make all the Goblin players unhappy, and they have to spend like $40 for their Goblin Settler, or however stupid amount that card is. Oh yeah, all 12 of them. It's more like 60. Yeah, fuck that card. Yeah, I think we're fetching. Though we do have, what do we put at the bottom? A Flicker Wisp on the bottom. I don't really think that statistic really matters. Alright, Recruiter's not nothing. Recruiter can help us go get Containment Priest eventually, though it's very heavily telegraphed. I think we're just going to play Stoneforge for Batterskull here, rather than Tomic. Tomic blocks a little bit better on this board, but Batterskull blocks even better than Tomic does. Also could potentially bait out like a Cabal Therapy to keep our Recruiter safer. Do also want to watch out for Force of Vigor, which I think is the removal spell of choice for these decks. I've seen Assassin's Trophy on some occasions as well, but do Gak decks will no, they definitely do not learn Wasteland. They are very all in on casting their colored spells. Sure. Why we're holding back on Crocus. The main reason to hold back on Crocus is to let my opponent like think that playing Hogak is a better line than it is. If they have a Crocus already in play, then they know that casting the Hogak is potentially like disastrous for them. Well, this is not good for me. I'm not happy to see that. I don't think this board state means I'm dead. I'm dead as fuck. It's certainly not, I'm not happy about it, especially because we don't have any ways in our deck to really deal with an altar. We don't have, this list doesn't have Relic Order or Revokers to like go find out for Recruiter to handle this. Although even that might just be like way too slow. Because when they get their untapped, they get to like sack their Gravecaller a bunch. They're gone. You gotta hit Hogak in their top 6 cards. I mean, they wouldn't even be able to cast it if they did. Yeah, Crypt definitely makes more things to worry about. This is certainly complicated. Yeah, I really don't want them to untap. Not a lot we can really do about it. What's our plan here? Ugh. I feel like we're not gonna be happy with anything happening. Recruiter doesn't find anything very reasonable outside of Containment Priest. Could just try to skull them, but that does not seem super likely to pay off. I think we just want to recruit Containment Priest. It's probably gonna get therapied. I think now we play the Caracas. This Altar of Dimension makes their Hogak lines just a lot better anyway. So we want to be able to have double white, potentially. It's definitely tricky. This Altar really gummed everything up for me. Priest would be a nice card for Modern. Didn't really see why they didn't put it in Modern Horizons. I was a little bit surprised at that. Thought it was a pretty reasonable card to put in. Wow, sacking the Supplier. Interesting. Now they don't have a way to recur the Gravecrawler. Alright, so they mill their top three here. They're targeting themselves with this, obviously. They milled nothing relevant, so we can just let this mill one resolve, because nothing in their graveyard matters. If they're casting a... They can't cast a Hogak yet, because they don't have two creatures. There's the Force of Vigor that we assume this is like second Gravecrawler. Alright, that tracks. So now things could get ugly if they have a Hogak. But I still don't think we can crack. I think we have to crack if they sack one of these Gravecrawlers. So I think this resolves. No, this is a Hogak. That's not good for me. There's the old Gak. The great Gaxby. Alright, so this definitely resolves. They mill a single bridge from below. Oh no, they milled two bridge from below. Oh Jesus, this is a lot worse for me all of a sudden. So that means we have to sack in response to sacking one Gravecrawler, I believe, to hit the Gak and the two bridges. But then they can sack the other Gravecrawler in response to get two zombies. But then they have 4 mills to find, like, more stuff to do. Yeah, I think I need to sack the Crypt now. It gets rid of the Gravecrawler, the Gak, and 2 of the Bridge from Belows. They sack the other Gravecrawler in response, likely. Yeah, I think now is better than... Now is probably our best moment here. So they sack this other Gravecrawler in response, especially if they like, have another Gak in hand or something. Although, no, then they get more stuff exiled. They might not be able to cast a Gak. But they get their 2 zombies out of the deal. And they mill 2 here, and 3rd Gravecrawler, And now their whole graveyard is gone. Now they mill 2 cards here. A Bloodghast. It's kind of annoying. Containment Priest might... They've gotten rid of 3 other Gravecrawlers. They're down a lot of recursion. The issue is that they still have 2 bridges in their deck. Wow. Seems like kind of an aggro. Activation. There's a Vengevine. They've cast 1 creature already, I believe, right? Did they cast a Gravecrawler? They have a tapped Bayou, so probably. Ugh, 2 Bloodghasts. This sucks if they have a land. If they don't, this is very good for me. We get Batterskull plus Priest if they don't have a land drop here. Oh. Holy shit, are we alive? So definitely flash this in Containment Priest and Sorcery Speed. They've milled an Abrupt Decay and Assassin's Trophy, and like if they have a fetch land, if they draw a fetch land, they can get back the Bloodghast through a Containment Priest anyway. So we're going to put in Containment Priest at Sorcery Speed and then hold up, put in Batterskull and attack them for 1 here. Yeah, that Tormod's Crypt definitely did some work. Yes! Got him. I'm not putting up, keep in Containment on draw. Yeah, because we want to put in the Batterskull. I think we want to kill them more than we want to try to, like, protect Containment Priest from an Abrupt Decay effect for 1 turn. Because we just want to really get them dead. Whew. Alright. Tormod's Crypt was good enough there. Very close game, though. Certainly. Yeah, with like us, with like slightly different mills, we could have easily lost that game. Yeah, it was very, very close to just being completely out of our hands. We were walking the razor's edge for most of that game, too. This seems pretty good. I'm into it. We've not cast a Squadron Hawk. We're already in round 4. Can we, like, play a matchup where I want to cast Squadron Hawks, please? My opponent's just gonna, like, tendrils me. Just, like, mono matchups where I don't want Squadron Hawks in my deck. Alright, it is not a Tendrils of Agony deck. This is just lands. Alright. This hand's not very good against lands. Not terrible. Discard Mana Bond. Oh. Probably isn't the worst for me. Definitely just want to fetch basic planes here. Imagine they probably just like gambled for a loam or something. Happy they don't have Mana Bond in their hands, though. Mana Bond games are just incredibly scary. It's probably just like fetch loam back 2 lands, say go. Why are there fetches in this deck? Because we have Mistveil planes. Same reason there are 4 flagstones of Troke here. Yep. I think I'm just in for playing Thalia this turn. We could Mom plus Vile, although as soon as we get down the second Mom, we can get down the second Mom later. Pretty in for Thalia this turn. If we like have to play through Punishing Fire, the Thalias like start juicing up the Spirit Keeper, which is a way we can try to steal games. Obviously, very bad against Tabernacle, but you gotta do what you gotta do. They also might not have a Punishing Fire. In which case, this Thalia gets to gum up things and then get protected by Mother of Runes. I think I'm actually supposed to Vial in my second Mom on my upkeep and then take the Vial up to 2 anyway. Because we don't really have a 2 to put in right now, and we want to probably get to the Spirit Keeper. I'm going to set an upkeep stop for myself. So I don't think the second Vial's happening anyway. We're probably just going to like put in the other Mom and port my opponent. They mill... Ah, fuck. They mill Tabernacle. Shit. So much for the Zealot Spirit Keeper plan. Well, if we successfully get 2 Moms in play, their Punishing Fires get a lot more taxed. Although the Tabernacle is also just bad if we just have 3 creatures in play and like our Plains and a Rashadan board. So maybe I don't want to put the second Mom into play. Because their plan is probably just Tabernacle me the following turn. They're not casting their Loam. They have P-Fire, but they don't. They want to rather P-Fire a Mom here, maybe. Yeah. Alright, yeah, we're definitely gonna put the Mom in upkeep here. Yeah, what's up, Mean Fanny Pack? Bayou. Interesting. Also interesting. Alright, well, we're not going to put in the Mom now. We're just going to put in the second Thalia. Potentially cast the Mom depending on what we draw. So yeah, we're going to get rid of our upkeep stop. Just going to take the stop to 2. Put in this other Thalia. Say go. Shot and port my opponent here. I guess I'll tap this Bayou. I can't imagine they'll need double red in a turn. Like, they might have some random main deck black card. Imagine it's probably just for sideboard stuff, but I don't think it's a lot worse than just porting the other Bayou. Or, like, porting a Taiga, I mean. They have another fetch land, so they can easily cast their Loam still to just hit land drops forever. Loan back their 3 lands. Murder me. You can top deck Prelate, just get him. You got it, boss. We kind of have to take this out to 3. I guess maybe I was actually supposed to cast it. I was probably supposed to cast a second Aether Vial instead of porting them. The port was like pretty worthless, especially knowing that they had another land and that like all their spells cost exactly 3 mana because of the Thalia. Yeah, I was definitely supposed to cast this Vial last turn. It would have made my Vial decision a lot easier this turn, but I think we are taking up to 3. We don't have anything to put in anyway, and a lot of our 3s are very good draws right now. It's an okay draw, honestly. Helps pay for shit through this eventual Tabernacle. By eventual, I mean probably next turn. The real card we would need is like Wasteland here to be able to try to sack a Spirit Keeper and then like snipe a Tabernacle to try to like find lethal with spirits eventually. We really just don't want them to find Grove of the Burn Willows, but even if they find Grove, they can't use it this turn. Not drawing the Loam. They have a different spell to cast. Discard that fetch. Oh god, I hate this. Always yield, always yield, always yield. Take this one up, don't take this one up. What was I supposed to put in Spirit Keeper here? I don't really want to sack any of my creatures. It's a possibility that I wanted 2 threats and a mom rather than 2 moms and like a threat because of the Maze of Ith in their hand. So like casting the mom might have been incorrect. We could have potentially had it for this Vial next turn if we drew a like a 4th land or something. I'm sure Sanctopearl here make my life easy. That'd be nice. So if they dredge their loam, flip over a grove, they pay 3 for their loam, play the grove, they still can't P-Fire on my things. So it's pretty safe to attack with at least Mom plus Thalia, if not my whole team. A Plow does not do a lot for me. Whole team attack is very bad if they have a second Punishing Fire, obviously. It might just be worth it because we really need to get damage in. I might have even was supposed to attack with everything last turn, especially because we have redundant Thalia and redundant Moms. The chance of just hitting them is perfectly acceptable right now. Loam. Yeah. I think I just want to crunch. Just dead them. Yeah, I think I was supposed to check with the Mom last turn too. They should be at like 9 here, which I don't know, may or may not end up mattering. This is just crop rotation. Oh, this is a crop rotation from Grove. My play sucks. Should have thought about why they didn't cast a spell this turn a little bit more. Yeah, if they kill my Thalia, it's like not the end of the world. We get to put it in our Spirit Keeper. Although they're not going to kill my Thalia until my upkeep. I know, because then my Mom's a tap, so they have to kill it on my turn, then we get to put in Spirit Keeper, and then put in another Thalia. It's probably fine. Ooh, Thicket also. Rough. Ooh, Field the Dead, super rough. Alright, we're probably pretty boned here. Maze of Ith, sure. Stem the bleeding. Are they not P-Firing? Okay, I'll just untap. Yeah, here we go. I didn't want to do that on my end step if I had like a flicker wisp. Not super helpful against this Maze of Ith. We gotta click on all these fucking triggers. I hate Tabernacle on Moto, it's just the worst. Just the worst thing in the whole world. That's certainly an interesting one. Huh. So next turn, they can buy back P-Fire, they can cast Punishing Fire. No, it only costs 2 because I don't know I'm putting in this Thalia. So yeah, we have to leave all the moms attached, which means we can't really pressure the maze. Also, we don't have enough lands. Ugh, this all sucks. But this Tomek definitely keeps me in this game at least a little bit. But I don't think I can attack with the Spirit Keeper, because now their P-Fires cost 1. So they get like P-Fire. P-Fire thing, I mom it. Buy it back. And then P-Fire mom. I think we just want to keep our moms online for as long as possible to buy us time with this Tomek. I think we're just gonna like sack the Spirit Keeper and then also sack all the spirits. Because we're gonna have to be paying for Mom Tomek next turn. Glad they didn't pick up that field that they did last turn. Best top deck is probably like Wasteland. We can Wasteland the Tabernacle and actually just get 3 spirits to attack them with. Issue 1990, thanks for the follow. I appreciate it. Alright, so they get back this P-Fire. That's fine. They have a Loam in hand, so they don't necessarily need to dredge back this one. But as soon as they cast a Loam, we can file in the Tomek. Make them waste mana. Unless they have crop rotation for a Caracas, we should be pretty in the clear here. Uh-oh. Well, we have Plow. Unfortunately, we need to find mana, so we can actually, like, leave up a Plow, not just be stone dead to it at any point. Yeah, this turn we have to sack the Spirit Keeper. Yay! Click on each individual trigger, my favorite thing to do. No. 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 Get spirits. Pay. Some other things we want to draw are like Wasteland, more actual lands, Sanctum Prelate, stuff like that would be nice. The Tomek actually, yeah, no, we have a Tomek in play. The Dark Depths doesn't matter at all. What was I thinking? We'll also pay for this. We'll also pay for my Tomek. Our best draw here is just Wastelands. We need to Wasteland this Tabernacle. Travis2232, thanks for the follow as well. Just like a basic Plains even here. That would let us actually start being able to clock through a Maze of Ith, even if it's just with a Tomek and a Spirit token. Or more likely like a Tomek and a Thalia. Although maybe not. Thalia's like 1 extra damage and we lose our Spirit in the process. Ooh, Wasteland, look at that. Sometimes you just get it. I think we want to activate our Violon 2 right now. They only have 3 mana here, so if their plan is to try to like P-Fire Mother of Runes and buy back their thing, and then like P-Fire again and buy back a thing, and then P-Fire again, then we get them unless they respond to this Violent 2 activation. Because they can't buy back the P-Fire. So we definitely just stall them. Ding. I don't have to waste on this right now, right? Is that how this works? I guess I'll attack. Attacking doesn't actually matter because Mace of Ith. Is there a world where I have to waste on this right now? I don't think so. Upkeep is probably best. Yeah. Play around the crop rotation and stuff. They didn't even cast their Punishing Fire. Die, Tabby. Alright, now we have a clock. That Wasteland was such a sick draw. Jesus. Oh shit, we're doing it. We are doing it. Let's go. Tomek is pretty aggressively unfair against lands, yeah. As it turns out. A little bit worse than Sanctum Prelate a lot of the time, but sometimes it gets the job done. Am I supposed to Rishadenport or cast more Squadron Hawks? I think they're dying regardless. This isn't going to work the way you want it to, opponent. I really hope they're getting Thespian Stage here. Yeah. Deal. Not how that works. Yeah, nope, you can't activate that ability, opponent. There's a Tomek in play. You cannot make your 2020. There we go. Got it. Whew. Alright. Well, we got a lot of cards for the lands matchup, huh? The casual board in 11. Ugh, that was a game. That was certainly a game of Magic the Gathering. What are our cuts here? Force of Virtue protects our prelates from like barbarings and stuff, which is definitely not nothing. Protects like various other things from just getting like P-fired too, like things with 2 toughness. Stoneforge, Spearkeeper. I've got so many cards though. It's usually what? Jite is a cut. Power Skull and Sword are decent. Probably just cut these moms. Probably cut Brimaz as well. Spearkeeper's actually like pretty reasonable against some of land's draws. They just play like the P-fire all your stuff games. Might be able to trim down like 1 removal spell. I think Path's better than Plow, because Mirror Age doesn't gain them 20 life. And usually don't like cutting down on Stoneforges in this matchup because sort of Fire and Ice is so good, but maybe that's just not true anymore because of stuff like Blast Zone making like Prelate Fire and Ice not just like the hard lock. So maybe it's reasonable to cut down to 3 Stoneforges and like the 2 equipment and just call this a day. Is there a world where I can just cut the Squadron Hawks again and like bring back in some number of these other cards? Maybe. But then we wouldn't be able to cast Squadron Hawk, which we didn't even get to put the Hawk into play because our opponent conceded. Hawk count still at 0. We gotta keep him in. We gotta put Squadron Hawk into play. Man, that Tomek was so fucking gas, Jesus. That Tomek was so good. I think this is actually a not completely unreasonable keep. Put him to 6. We have a Vial. We have a Jailer. Some Mana Denial stuff. This Pithing Needle. Exploration Time certainly makes my Wastelands look a lot worse. Ooh, Crypt. That's not bad. A little tougher to play around, especially because they will... Maybe I'm not actually supposed to cast it. Because they can... If they know the Crypt's in play, they can try to, like, finagle around, like, one-shot graveyard hit like that by just trying to leave up the mana for Peatland all the time. Like, if they just go land... although that's the play pattern anyway, right? If they just go land drop, Life from the Loam, land drop, they just like leave up Peatland anyway. But if they tap the Peatland, we can potentially snipe a Loam with this Crypt. We also have this Wasteland. Actually, Wasteland makes it a lot easier because we can just try to like shoot the Peatland worst case. So I think I'm not supposed to play it. I think I'm supposed to go Rishadan-Port Aether Vial and say go. I guess they could, like, just buy it back at sorcery speed, but that, like, plays into surgical, which is way more common. Wow, that's just rude, opponent. Why would you do that, you big jerk? Wow, that was not a good draw. Don't think I want to waste any of my opponent's stuff. They have 2 cards in hand. If they just, like, if I wasteland one thing and we just get Life from the Loam, we're just so fucking dead. I guess I broke because another reason not to play out the Tormod's Crypt. This Needle probably doesn't need to go on anything right now. Yeah, I'll just pass. I don't know why I didn't port them if I wasn't going to wasteland them. Kind of blanked on that. I'm going to defeat the stage, copy their basic if they want to protect their stage from wasteland or something. Deals them 1, but no reason not to port them on upkeep. Although, if they're doing this, we probably need to respect crop rotation. These cards all kind of suck, as it turns out, when I don't have white sources and can't cast my spells. Yeah, I don't think I want to cast any of my spells still. Potential for, like, Needle on stage. In fairness, we could have 2 basic planes in play, and we still wouldn't be able to cast any of our spells. Yeah, I think we're just passing. I think it's 2 tick marks then. Is that how that works? Actually, pointing at Force is probably better, because if they want to actually cast a green spell, they take damage. Seems like a pretty aggro crop rotation. Like, can I get Dark Depths? Like, we have an untapped Wasteland in play. Like, that plan's not... Oh, they get a Wasteland. Okay, sure. I wonder if I actually want to, like, Wasteland or Peatland. Just send us both back to the Stone Age. I don't know. I don't like aggressively wastelanding the deck that is, like, 35 lands in it. Especially when they can also send me back to the Stone Age. Alright, sure. Hey, an Aether Vial. Alright, I'm more into Wasteland this peatland now. Certainly. I think we might want to play out the Crypt now. Oh. No, they're a green source and a loam away from. Although I guess they can cycle the peatland if I snag the peatland, which kind of sucks. Upkeep Wasteland. Yeah, it's definitely better than Wastelanding right now, that's for sure. A little tempted to Wasteland their stages of their peatland, but that gives them the option of ripping any. Although, yeah, they could have like any land, but they haven't been playing land rips anyway. Alright, let's play this Vial. I think I do want Crypt in play now. Although Crypt is really, if I play Crypt and Vial, it's so bad against Force of Vigor. So kind of like just sitting on this Vial, or sitting on this Stormwatch Crypt until it's relevant. Like, because I'm not cracking a Crypt if they cast a Life from Loam, right? Although I might, because I can just take them off of any lands. I think I can wait one turn on the Stormwatch Crypt. The greedy play is definitely just Wasteland this stage. Which I think I might do. Well, I guess that qualifies. Alright. Well, I like the stage in the graveyard more if they just had this Mox Diamond, certainly. What's up, Aishnaz? Hey, look at that. Basic Plains. Never didn't have it. Too bad we can't pit the needle this Mox Diamond. We can cast our spells now. We can still cast none of them. We have Batter's Gold, Jailer, I mean, we can cast this Force Virtue on a technicality. Maybe I'm supposed to put this Tormod's Crypt in play now. They have a lot of scary lands in their graveyard. We're gonna put this Tormod's Crypt into play. If they have, like, Force of Vigor green card, we just kind of get plastered against a wall, but at least we, like, kill their graveyard in the process. Now that they have green mana in this Mox Diamond, I'm not super interested in trying to hit this peatland. Like, they can cycle it anyway. And we can't try to take them off of, like, Life from the Loam stuff. It's a weird game of Magic. Draw, like, Tomic. Oh, Prella, that's pretty good. Might aggro Wasteland this peatland, now that we have Sanctum Prella. Protects it from... Well, I guess not Abrupt Decay, because it's going on 2, but whatever. Well, land number 3, alright. So much for the aggro Wasteland plan. Oh man, our tap land. We did it. We did it, chat. We drew our tap land. Doesn't seem like it matters a lot here, but... In our upkeep, we will Sanctum Prelate on 2. I don't think I'm supposed to waste any of this stuff anymore. I think I'm gonna take this out before to start drawing cards on my Palace Jailer. Unfortunate. Am I supposed to cast this Flicker Wisp? I don't think so. I think Flicker Wisp this Mox Diamond for fun. Not unreasonable. We're very insulated against a Marilage. Flicker the Vial. It's also an option. I think I just want to dead them. I think I'd rather hit their Mox Diamond, though. I don't think my Vial's going to matter that much in the coming turns. They have a spell here, or are they just like floating for fun? Okay, they're floating for fun. Especially because we're drawing 2 cards a turn. Don't think this Vial's going to be super necessary. I'm going to be dead pretty quick. Oh, that's threatening. Yeah, we have a lot of things to chuck into the Drop of Honey, though. Between the Jailer. Wait. What, they get to choose? That's not fair. At least we have the Stoneforge to throw into the Drop of Honey. Can we lethal them? We can just, like, force a Virtue Pitch the path right now. Hit them for 3, 6, 7, 9, 10. Yeah, this is a 2-turn clock, right? And the Stoneforge eats into the Drop of Honey, and then they just die. Yeah, just kill him is a good plan right now. Hey, we did it. Whew. Alright. Last round here. The new opening is bad. Dang. Unlucky. Pretty good league today. Squadron Hawk count is still at fucking 0. I'm mad. I'm mad if we don't get to talk our opponent here in round 5. We gotta play against, like, some Hawks. We're gonna play against, like, Miracles, and they're gonna Terminus me, and we're just gonna have, like, 17 Squadron Hawks. It's gonna be glorious in this last round. Just you wait. Imagine playing a deck that loses combo, but also against a lot of fair decks. Yeah, certainly questionable. Yeah. I don't know, I think a lot of, at least for like that matchup in particular, I think a lot of Lands players think that their Death and Taxes matchup is good, because when your opponent is a bad Death and Taxes player, which is most Death and Taxes players, then like your matchup feels a lot better than it actually is. I think versus competent pilots, that matchup is a lot closer. But everyone thinks that it's like, oh, I have Punishing Fires in my deck, and like I hit a bunch of land drops versus the Taxes deck. What could go wrong? But like that's not really how the matchup plays at all. No, opponent. No. No. Rip opponent. Oh, nope. They made it. Opponent is the daddy. I've played against this opponent before. Name strikes a chord. Alright. We get to hawk him. We get to hawk him this game. I'm in. Probably not hawking on turn 2, but I'm here for it already. Opponent, please don't just like fucking Tendrils of Agony me. Ah, damn it, Dredge! Or am I blame you? This is the opposite of a Hawk matchup. I'm so mad. For fuck's sake. I just wanted to put a Squadron Hawk into play like one time. Oh wow, we seem aggressively dead. Maybe this Faithless Looting whiffs hard. Yeah, that's like not what the conventional thought is, though. Like, a lot of people just like think that they're, oh wow, they have a second looting in their hand too. Jesus, we're so dead unless this, like, they need to miss so hard with these imps. Oh yeah, we're also just, like, so fucking dead, just in general. But yeah. I think just, like, it's like a lot of people's Storm matchup, where I think your, Storm matchup, like, a lot of people think their Storm matchup is better than it is because a lot of Storm players are pretty bad at the deck. And how, like, a lot of Storm players think their Delver matchup is bad, or a lot of Delver players think their Storm matchup is good. Is there a world that we actually somehow win this game? It's like 0% chance, right? Squadron isn't, I guess, therapy decks or fast combo I don't follow. Yeah, what a world, right? That we're not good. Our 2-mana 1/1 squad. Not good against the card Cabal Therapy or incredibly fast combo decks. Unlucky. We do not have a Remorseful Cleric in our 75. We are unbelievably dead. Yeah, that was a thing for a little bit. I actually did consider Remorseful Cleric. It's on the list of cards that, like, I vaguely want to try out. Just wondering if there's, like, a reason to keep playing this game. Probably isn't. I'm a little concerned that my opponent didn't crack this LED and just, like, continue looting. Which makes me feel like they have another, like, payoff in hand, like another spell to cast. Like a careful study or something, or like the second looting drew them into a breakthrough. So I kind of want to wasteland the City of Brass more than I want to develop my cards. Although that just gives them more time to, like, find therapies and make my Stoneforge not a card, but I think I want to wasteland this. Yeah, I've definitely won a couple of games against Dredge solely on the back of a Remorseful Cleric in game 1. But it's definitely, like, not super common. You lose most of those games anyway, still. Occasionally you'll just, like, have it turn 2 on the play, and, like, that plus, like, a Stoneforge Mystic will be good enough. Oh, well, they found a therapy. Taking, like, 9 billion here. Imagine they just want, like, looting to find more bridges, right? Just to really just kick my teeth in. Well, I guess, yeah, that's a reason not to crack the diamond. And that's also why we wastelanded, because there was probably a reason that they didn't crack diamond to cast more lootings there, and it was because they had something that needed extra mana, which was probably, like, land drop so they could Colosseum and Fate of the Looting, but now they have to burn their LED on this Colosseum instead. I mean, odds are we're still very, very, very dead, but, you know. Ah, 2 more bridges. I see. Ah, a Hogak. I see. Let's go to the old concede step here. And move on with our lives. Ding. 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 This probably is fine. Call these slow as shit cards. Thing probably strikes me as not nearly good enough, especially because we don't even have, like, rest in pieces. So, like, if they're boarding in things to deal with rest in peace, they're just not going to really find targets. And generally, a lot of the Dredge decks, like, straight up don't have answers for Containment Priest outside of going under it or therapying it. So I don't think Prelate is good enough because it's just super slow. It's possible that, like, a second Spirit Keeper is better than a card in my deck right now, like a Tomic, just because it blocks a little bit better. It's possible that Tomic's better than Wisp, again, because it blocks better. I think most of this looks okay. I don't, like, so Fire and Ice over another Wisp. Probably not. Yeah, Force is, like, pretty bad. We have a lot of pretty bad cards in our deck, though. At least Force helps us, like, try to win combat. It's a little awkward now. Maybe going down on that many flyers is bad, because we cut all our Hawks, which means that sometimes, like, just... if you're not quite fast enough with your Graveyard Hate, like, the stray Narcomoeba can actually get in kills, but... we have, like, Batterskull, Jite, 4 Stone Forges, and the Flicker Wisp. And 4 Plows, and, like, a Path to Exile that all, like, clean up extra piddlers. I don't know, I guess we also have this Tomac. I think this configuration is probably fine. I would love to play first. Ugh. I feel like this hand's not a keep. Maybe 5 Graveyard Hate cards. Containing Priest is definitely our best, though, especially on the play. But the fact that we're, like, not guaranteed... I was probably supposed to board out the Mistveil Plains. I keep forgetting that, like, that's a thing that this deck probably wants to do in matchups that Mistveil doesn't matter. But yeah, no, this hand's also just, like, very just dysfunctional and bad, with 2 equipment in it and, like, 1 colorless land plus the Vial. I think most of our 6s look better. Like, on the draw, I think I might keep this, because you just need to get a little bit lucky on the draw versus dredge. But on the play, I think you can mulligan a little bit more aggressively. Yeah. Snapple to 6, certainly. Opponent goes to 6, not that that matters a huge amount when you're playing dredge. Alright, now we're probably pretty toast here. This hand just, like, doesn't actually function. Alright, well, this hand functions. This hand's actually a pretty serviceable 4. Put away land, Jite, keep Thalia Crypt. Opponent also mulled to 4. I guess keep Mistveil is free because we don't want to draw it later if we shuffle. And we're not doing anything on turn 1. Definitely putting back Wasteland, definitely putting back Jite, and putting back another land. So I guess since our first play is Mistveil, Crypt, go. Then we probably just put back the Plains. I think Wasteland's better than second white source. Unfortunately, Tormod's Crypt is definitely one of our least successful Graveyard Hate cards in this matchup. It's definitely, like, tricky to fire off at the right time. Looting, sure. Thug, Icarid, sure, Petal. Let them dredge this Thug, see what it hits. Leyline of Sanctity, what? This does target, but I feel like you probably wouldn't be expecting Tormod's Crypt. What on earth is this Leyline of Sanctity for? So what is this? Is it just Narcomoeba? 4, 5, 6? Yeah, I think we just let the Narcomoeba interplay. They don't really have anything scary, and they could potentially go nuts later. This Narcomoeba's probably fine. Leyline of Sanctity just seems really weird, though. No idea why you'd bring that in against Death and Taxes. Flashback this looting. Breakthrough X equals 1. Seems kind of ambitious in the face of my Tormod's Crypt. Okay. Unless they, like, have a... Leyline just seems really bad. Alright, well, we're probably cracking the crypt now. If the card they have left is, like, Straight Wraith, and then they also, like, hit a really good Dredge 6 or something, we could be in trouble, but I think we're fine. Like a proper timing of this Tormod's Crypt. Like their upkeep or something, so their Narc moves have Summoning Sickness. They could give mana though. We're gonna get got by this Leyline of Sanctity. They're gonna like Leyline me game 3 and I'm gonna have this Tormod's Crypt and play and look like an idiot. I think I'd rather Mom than Forza Virtue here. Don't think I like Wastelanding. There's potential that their last card in hand is like a looting effect. I think this graveyard is probably... Actually not. It's definitely tricky. Because if we let them dredge and their last... Oh, I guess we could like Wasteland them, right? And try to cut them off. Because then they need to find lands and looting. So we could like Crypt them, Wasteland them. Just makes it a lot harder for them to actually cast spells to put cards in the graveyard, because they need to draw one of their, like, 12 or whatever lands that they have in this deck. And they'd be stuck with, like, a Gemstone Mine, so it also turns off, like, Petal. Yeah, I'm not criticizing Leyline in general, but, like, in this matchup it just seems, like, wildly unplayable. It's good against, like, exactly Tormod's Crypt, which is, like, very, very underplayed in Death and Taxes in general. With the last card is Stifle, then they would get me super good. I think I'm just supposed to crack this now and Wasteland them, though. I guess I did it in the wrong order, but this thing probably doesn't matter in the graveyard a whole lot. It's free at least, yeah, but like, I think it honestly is worse than Hogak. Like, they don't always have like Plows or Karagas for your Hogak, and sometimes you get to do like the casting 2 Hogaks thing. I don't understand the logic if you're legitimately trying to. This is bad for me if they actually did find a... Oh, it looks like they didn't. You're trying to, like, legitimately tell me that, like, there are enough cards to cut in the sideboard, or in the main deck, that you can bring in whatever cards that my opponent did bring in to deal with my stuff, in addition to, like, Leyline of Sanctity. I'd be pretty surprised. I guess I can put this Tormod's Crypt back in my deck if I ever shuffle. Probably should have done that last turn, but also probably doesn't really matter. Because if we're casting Stone Force, this game is probably pretty over. That's bad. Tormod's Crypt back in my graveyard, or back in my deck. Boom! Got him. Got it in our Mistveil Plains activation. This plan was pretty good against the Putrid Imp, so it's solid. Opponent saying, "Oh my god," to my Mistveil Plains technology. Now I'm willing to do turn 1 cards like Putrid Imp lose a lot of value. You might as well gamble with that. I don't know. It doesn't actually do anything. Like, the card doesn't have text. It has text now specifically. Maybe after you see a Tormod script or something. But, like, against like 90+% of D&T lists, Leyline of Sanctity just doesn't actually have text. I think I'm supposed to play this Putrid Imp. Just turns off their repeatable discard outlet. We could have potentially pitched it to Force, but I think we just want to kill the Putrid Imp. We attack with the Mom here. Well, they don't have anything to discard. That's super good for me. Unless there's a card in my deck that, like, targets their face that I'm not considering. Seems like pretty buck wild as a board in. As Forwards of Virtue Bin. I think we've cast it once. It accelerated the clock a little bit. Oh, that's definitely scary. It's been okay. I found the old Stinky. Hopefully it's a little bit too late. We might be able to limp across the finish line here. Sword of Fire and Ice would be equally bad in the sand right now. Oh, they're not attacking here. Because we couldn't cast a Sword of Fire and Ice here anyway, because we have 3 lands. If that's what we're talking about. I think I'd rather pitch this Force of Virtue to this, or pitch them onto this Force of Virtue. Because that puts them to 6, and then puts them on a 2-turn clock with a Thalia. 2-turn-ish. Thinking multiple colors of creatures in play, but... supposed to Force of Virtue them. Try to kill them in a couple of turns before they can get their engine going here. Well, that's scary. Second Narcomoeba. The therapy means that they can make 2 different colors of blockers, which buys them a little bit of time. They also missed, so that's not good for them, so we probably should be fine here. Alright, let's just cast this Force of Virtue, make sure they whiff. What'd they name? Abandon Hope. Alright. The classic. That's pretty good. Is it better to attack or pro a color? If we're proing a color, what's the good color to choose? Probably pro blue, right? If they block with a zombie, then they don't, like, get more zombies. Though it might be fine to... although they can't mill, so they're probably just dead. Or they can't dredge, so they're probably just dead regardless. But it kills them a little bit faster, I think, if we pro blue. Don't think it matters a whole hell of a lot. Yeah, they're probably inclined to chump block there regardless. I think chump blocking with the zombie is better for us. Because now we just attack them for lethal. Just we attack with the mom. Whereas if they had 2 zombies in play, we couldn't do that. Alright. That was a not a great fight. Both players mulled to 4. It was really kind of a slap fest between 2 decks not firing on all cylinders there, but now we have to play the game 3, which is the rough one. Dredger matchup feels a lot like the Reanimator matchup in you're dying a lot in your game 1, and like game 2 you have time to find your graveyard hate a lot more of the time, and then game 3 is the one where it's pretty risky because a lot of the times your hands are just going to be too slow. So we'll see how this works out. Needle, it's possible that like Needle on the play is fine to like hit Putrid Imp. Needle on the draw probably not good enough. I think all these cards are more or less fine. We just want like Surgical plus Containment Priest. Well, this is probably a keep. Put them all together into 6. We have 2 plows and a surgical, so we could potentially like surgical bridges, then like plow 2 Icarids, and then they're like down a ton of threats. Opponent kept 6. Sure. Go hog wild, opponent. And there's the old pimp. I think I'm supposed to actually plow this instead of playing a vial. Maybe not. Maybe we just let this pimp live for a turn. Let them, like, discard their things twice, but the odds of them, like, missing, especially because they could discard multiple treasures, is probably not super high, and our deck definitely wants to be able to cast all of its spells. Or get into all of its spells into play, which involves the Stoneforge Mystic. So I think vialing here is better. Didn't even discard to the Putrid Imp? What? What is their hand? Therapy me, I mean, resolves, I guess. I literally can't even cast the surgical if I wanted to. What if they name a 2-drop here? They name Recipes. Nice! We don't have any in our deck, opponent. Got him good. Like, Breakthrough's not that scary here, right? And we just let this surgical resolve, or let this Cabal Therapy resolve, they take my surgical. Because if we try surgical, A, surgical and Putrid Imp is awful. B, if we surgical, then they nickname Source Plowshares, which also sucks for us. So this just resolves here. I guess if they have Breakthrough after they therapy my surgical, it's a little bit concerning. Surgical the Pimp. Yeah, it doesn't seem like a particularly strong play, certainly. That was a horrible draw. Most concerning thing right now is they're 1 mana off of Oko. So they can't put anything in the yard right now. They could potentially like have multiple spells next turn. Between the merits of playing these, like holding up plows before, after, or playing the second Aether Vial, I think with this hand we really just need to get these Aether Vials in play. Like I said, sometimes you just need to get a little bit. You need to like fade some draw steps in game 3. Yeah, something like looting. Oh dear, yeah, would certainly make sense. On a Breakthrough, that's probably pretty bad for me. Well, it could be fine depending on if they have a Faithless Looting. Because like if the last card in hand is like Faithless Looting, then we get super boned. Alright, let's just top deck Contema Priest. Alright, we're not playing the 3rd vial. We definitely need to leave for plows now. Lunel, thanks for the 11-month resub. Appreciate it. I literally told you I was streaming tonight earlier. Also, they paid to keep 1 card. They didn't pay to keep 2 cards. Which seems reasonable, considering like the only card they would really need to keep is like Faithless Looting, because they could cast it and then cast it again. So this result, or this can all happen. Icarid. Just plow this Icarid. There's not really better targets. I'll let the draw step happen, I guess. It's just like the Cephalid Coliseum's just gonna like throw us in the trash can. They have Cabal Therapy, so yeah, let's kill this. And they have a Faithless Looting. Alright, yeah, we're super dead. The Stoneforge Mystic doesn't even get equipment, Jesus. we're so fucking dead. You can just cast it. I guess they can't cast another against Self-Load Coliseum. Never say. I mean, I'm gonna keep playing this game of Magic. There's a chance that they can't build a big enough board this turn, and we can still find a Containment Priest or something. But like, odds are pretty low. Found a Gak, so yeah, we're probably super dead now. They found all of their Narc Amiibos. All right, yeah, we're not winning this game, as it turns out. I'm gonna put my 2-1 into play, get him good. We mulled to 6, and our bottom card is not Containment Priest, so we actually don't want to search. But we're also just like unreasonably dead. We would have to somehow draw. We needed like a second mana source and also draw like Containment Priest to survive. Oh, they can sack the Hogak to the therapy. I think cast the Hogak again. Yeah, we're so dead. Oh yeah, and they get our battle skull. So yeah, no, we're not winning. Even if we had second land, never mind. So let's just draw our Terminus here. Alright. I think that hand was pretty reasonable. Did not work out, but that's how the cookie crumbles sometimes. Certainly. Fortunately, our Squadron Hawk counter was at 0. We played like a bunch of degenerate garbage in my sideboard that definitely was not based around playing against a bunch of graveyard decks. Yes, certainly our cookie has crumbled. I think we had reasonable shots to beat. I don't think the Dredge matchup is like that horrifying. Like, we kept a reasonable 6 there. We died, but like that's life. We won our other game. Our Molda 4. Our Molda 4 match. Then we played against Hogak twice, and we got 0-2'd, and then we 2-0'd them. It was just a bunch of nonsense. Then what did we play against first round? Just some other degenerate stuff. Round 4 was lands. Round 1 was... God, what was it? What happened? 2-1 versus something. I honestly don't remember what round 1 was, but we never got to put a single Squadron Hawk in play. Profoundly disappointing. Oh, it's Bomberman. So yeah, this was just like a super degenerate league. Bomberman, Hogak, lands, which is like reasonable compared to the other stuff, and then Dredge. A bunch of matchups where I was sad that I cut recipes from our board, and then we still 3-2'd, so I'm not disappointed. I'm mostly sad because I didn't actually get to reasonably test Squadron Hawk as like an actual reasonable option against the fair decks. But I think there's a world where I like that prospect of just hedging your main board heavily for like the fair matchup. No, we're just playing against normal lands. I guess they had a black splash, probably for like Thoughtseize and stuff. I've been seeing that more often recently, but like hedge your deck super heavily towards fair decks, and then sideboard like I could sideboard even like more unfair matchup cards. I was thinking original iterations of this list had like 3 Deafening Silences and stuff possible, just like more like other graveyard hate options. Against the decks that I played against today, I would have definitely rather had something like Grafdigger's Cage than some of these other options, but I did specifically omit Grafdigger's Cage because I was hedging towards some graveyard decks over others, and we hit the other side. Oh yeah, they did decay me in game 2 against lands. But yeah, I'm sad that we got to put Zero Squadron Hawks into play. We only put Forza Origin into play twice too, but I don't know. The Mistfail planes never mattered. We got to put the Tormod script on the bottom of our deck and then win the game anyway, because it didn't actually matter unless we shuffled. But anyway, let's go find someone to host. I'm more or less done today. What is going on? I'm the only person streaming Legacy right now? Come on, guys, step it up. All right, who's streaming like anything? K-Pons is streaming. All right, we'll go host K-Pons. He's streaming as a Pioneer, but K-Pons is a good friend of the stream, all-around good guy. Anyway, thanks everybody for watching today. Hope you had a good time. As always, if you want to support the channel, you want to see more Legacy content, you can follow. If you want to support even more, you can subscribe or donate. We do donation deck lists here, but other than that, we play a lot of Death and Taxes and Bomberman, usually. Stepping up this person's back on stream. I've been streaming for like 3 hours. 2.5 hours? What does MTGO stream say? Oh, that doesn't seem right. I think closer to 2.5 hours, but yeah. But anyway, have a good weekend, everybody. We just came back to we died to Dredge. Yeah, we died to Dredge for the 3-2. We had a pretty close game 3, or as close as games go against Dredge. Horrible landslides, but like close the first 2 turns of the game when they're navigating around your cards. But anyway, I'm done. Gonna go host K-Pons. Have a good weekend, everybody. And I'll see you guys all on Monday. Also, I'm not streaming on Wednesday or Friday next week because of Thanksgiving. My parents come down Wednesday evening, and then obviously Thanksgiving on Thursday, and they're leaving on the weekend. So my only stream next week is Monday. But yeah, later.